Good afternoon, everybody, or good morning. It's still morning here in California. I've had some power outages this morning, so I'm hoping that this works and I'm hoping that the power doesn't go out. Wanted to get on here before I get out and run my errands for the day and talk about the next energy that's coming. We have a changing of the guards, as I call it. The next cosmic energy shift is coming. I actually thought it was on May 5th because according to modern astrology it is, but I went and I ran it through my Nostradamus software and I realized that because my method of astrology is ancient, it's not going into effect till the 6th of May, one day off. Some people say that's the 7th, but according to my software, it is the 6th. That this new dragon energy comes in. This is the north and south nodes, and they are shifting. And when they shift, they take on some really intense energy for not just us as human beings, but for the world at large. So I want to jump right in here and get started. I just published my newsletter about this. You can go to astrologywitch.com and read all about it. But I did say, here we go again. Every 18 months, the universal energy shifts, and it is about that time again. We have been in a Capricorn Cancer axis energy, and this energy has been right on the United States as an umbrella of positive energy. Remember, the United States was born July 4th, 1776. It is a Cancer nation. So most cancers, the United States has been blessed by this energy as a nation with good economy, job growth, progress. For the last 18 months, the economy has been really, really good. It has nothing to do with who's in office. Mickey Mouse could be in office and the economy would be good, okay? It has absolutely nothing to do with who is in the office of presidency. I know a lot of you out there think he's wonderful and the economy is good. But like I said, Mickey Mouse could be in office and the economy would have been good. The tides are a-changing, my friends. And the next universal energy moves into a Gemini Sagittarius axis on May 6th, 2020. And it invokes the energy of air and fire. This energy will be right on the United States, their health, the United States' health as a nation and their service to the world. Think about Italy for a minute and how this coronavirus has infected that country. I sat there in the beginning of this outbreak a couple of months ago wanting to know, gosh, why Italy? Why my family's motherland? Why? Then I looked at where the dragon energy was for Italy at this time. Italy is a Leo nation, born in the constellation of Leo. So if you look at what's going on with Leos right now, the dragon energy in Cancer is affecting all, or the dragon tails energy is in Capricorn, affecting all Leos. Look at Madonna and her health issues. My own daughter, who's Leo, had some health issues. Italy as a nation, that energy is on them in the 6th house. That's why so many lives were lost in Italy. Energy is changing. It's going to get better for Italy. It will not be getting better for us. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. I'm going to be blunt and as raw as I know how to be. I don't have time for people who are weak, can't handle the truth. If that is the case, then my channel is not for you. Gabish? Okay, moving on. Sorry, I go on a little rant sometimes. So this energy is on the health of the United States as a nation. The Gemini energy is going to be all about wind. It's going to be about birds, air, communication, transportation, postal service. It rules the lungs, the respiratory system. So yes, lung diseases are going to be very common, along with asthma, allergies, respiratory issues, and of course, COVID-19. This brings me to the subject of COVID-19. This isn't the end, folks. Okay. It may get a little better in June, but please understand that anytime we're dealing with Gemini energy is a duality. Happens in twos, fours, sixes. There's going to be a second tour of this, and it's going to be, unfortunately, at the hands of the ignorance and stupidity of our politicians. There are people out there that are upset because they have to shelter in place. They feel that it's taking away their freedoms. Well, okay, you know what? Go outside and breathe the air. And, if you're going to be ignorant and stupid, then COVID-19 maybe will get you out of your own ignorance and your own stupidity. Maybe reducing the population surplus of stupid ass people is exactly what we need. Harsh as that sounds, I'm really sorry, but I don't know what else to say. It might settle a bit in June, but it's going to fully come back again. Looks like to me the months of, December is usually the beginning of flu season in general. But if we aren't careful, more outbreaks will be common and in full swing. June and December are going to be the months this year that you're going to want to look to. December being the worst month. The months, like I said, the months those will be the highest peaks of energy. It'll give more fuel to the fire, so to speak. I do see those 2 months as well, June and December, taking its toll on the United States and the health as a nation. So this isn't over yet. This is also going to take an effect on the President of the United States. We as a nation are affected by his energy, positive or negative. His dragon's tail is in Sagittarius, 7th house. His dragon's head's in Gemini. Energy is going to be right on him. With Gemini creating duality, this virus will be taking a second tour of humanity. So be prepared, because we are not out of the woods yet. And some of you out there are getting a little too cocky. In the many months to come, we're going to see progressive changes, people. Changes within the media, photography, technology, how we communicate. And communication in general is going to explode. Gemini rules transportation, so we may see incredible changes and advancements within the auto industry, within technology, maybe even flying cars, like in the Jetsons. Remember, what was that, the year 2020? I believe they already have flying cars. They just haven't introduced them to us common folk yet. But I know in my heart, and by looking through the stars, we've already created cars that have no propulsion, that float and hover. We have that already. It's just not being introduced to us as a nation or as a people. Where was I now? I'm trying to find my notes here. In the many months to come, not only will this affect the auto industry in some way, but it's going to also, the Postal Service is ruled by Gemini. And as you can see, the Postal Service is already making the news with the president trying to privatize the postal system, stating that they are broke. Now, I don't know whether they're broke or not. My understanding is they have enough revenue through September of this year. They have a pretty strong union behind them. So if Trump's getting ready to dismantle this, he's going to have to fight a really strong union. Okay. And with this next Gemini energy coming, the Postal Service kind of has an umbrella of luck with them right now when this moves. And they'll get through it. No matter how hard Trump tries to dismantle this, they will fight to the end to keep the postal system as it is. The positive energy of Gemini is going to be all about mental stimulation. It's going to be about new discoveries. It's going to be about curiosity, photography, music, seeking the truth. Gemini is a truth-seeking sign. It's about broadcasting, journalism, and writing. This energy can bring a lot of joyous, happy, incredible times with people joking and getting together, even if that is at a distance through technology. Gemini is a dual sign, like I said, and people with a strong Gemini in their stars will always experience things in their life happening in doubles, twos, fours, sixes. It's just a gift of Gemini. People with a strong Gemini placement also possess the gift of youth. That is one nice thing about having a strong Gemini is you will always look younger than older. Oh, it's a nice placement. Where was I? Gemini's a dual sign. Okay. This energy also gives people a lot of strong physical and mental process. So it's going to be very interesting. Hello. Hi, Pam. How are you? My best friend. Going over the dragon energy. Now, we move into a dragon's tail, the south node of the moon. It's going to be moving into Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius rules the medicine world. It rules education. It rules laws. It rules courts. It rules justice. It rules the animal kingdom, indigenous people from every continent. This rules foreigners, foreign lands, and in ancient astrology, we call this placement also the codification of thought, because people with a strong Sagittarian energy usually are very indoctrinated. They're either incredibly indoctrinated by what the Bible and the good book says, and they won't change their minds, or they're incredibly into higher education to where they become almost a mental snob. Not all. I know a great many enlightened and advanced souls that are Sagittarians. So let me see here. Where was I? The world at large will begin to question books written by man, okay, and what the good book says. The Sagittarius fire energy will pursue, unfortunately, the animal kingdom. What you saw happening in Australia over winter, that was heartbreaking, but that was an omen and a precursor of things to come, especially here for the United States and especially for California. Okay. Before I go on with what I'm going to say about the tail, I want to talk about California for just a minute. Now, California takes on two energies. California was erected and bought from Mexico on September 9th, 1850. So it takes on a Virgonian energy in some ways. And this would explain why California is probably one of the most environmentally strict states in the country. This is the state that created no smoking in restaurants, no smoking in bars, no smoking in the streets, very health conscious, very health oriented, Virgo. However, before man came around and created borders, okay, and boundaries, there were universal borders, celestial borders, okay? And California, before the white man came here, before the Mexicans came here, was Native American land, indigenous country. So California takes on Sagittarian energy. It is a Sagittarian state, even though by law, by laws of men, it takes on Virgo energy as well. But we will see a lot more fires in California this summer. We will see a lot more animals. The precursor to what we saw in Australia, unfortunately, is going to happen to us. And I don't know if you remember the video I did several months ago about Australia. And I was actually in tears trying to get through that broadcast because of the visions of what I see coming for the animal kingdom. As an animal lover, and for those of you out there who are animal lovers, it is not going to be easy to watch the news in the next 18 months. And I say that with tears in my eyes right now. Okay, so before I ruin my makeup, I'm going to move on, but just watch the news and you see what I mean. But California will have some of its worst fires. This is a fire, negative fire dragon energy coming. Parts of Arizona will see this too, and parts of Nevada. Okay, where was I? It rules the indigenous people, foreign lands. Okay, I said all that. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Like I said about the animal kingdom, this also rules the medical profession, okay? And when doctors take the Hippocratic Oath, and you can see the energy affecting the medical profession right now. The medical profession is on the brink of chaos. It's on the brink of complete depletion in some way. This is not good, especially when we have a global pandemic. We need our medical, we need our government to support our medical team and help them and to get through this. But it seems like the medical profession is on their own. It's going to take a while for them to get a vaccination. Not that I would ever take that vaccination. That's my personal opinion on it. But the medical profession is going to suffer in the next 18 months. They won't have much support from their government. You're going to see in the next 18 months, especially in the next 9 months, a big baby boom come December. But you're also going to see a big boom in bankruptcies because people aren't going to be able to pay their medical bills because people have lost their jobs and gotten sick and had to go to the hospital. And those insurance companies aren't going to show mercy on the American people. It's all about money, nothing else. So unfortunately, this energy and what's getting ready to happen to the United States, we have to crumble and we have to fall rock bottom before we can rise back up. So I'm not going to sugarcoat this. The next 18 months are going to be hard. Our economy is going to tank. Unemployment will be at an all-time high. Bankruptcies are going to happen. This brings in law. You have to go to a lawyer to file for bankruptcy. So, and it will be in people seeking legal matters for negative things like bankruptcy. So yes, the rest of this year and the year 2021, you better save your money. Whatever money you have, save it. Not a time to spend frivolously because you're going to need it to survive. We haven't seen anything yet. Just wait. It's going to get worse before it gets better. Unfortunately, we as a nation are learning a hard lesson. Okay. This energy also is going to affect religion, the indigenous people, and minorities, along with many leaders who have a sun and dragon placement in Gemini and Sagittarius, such as Donald Trump, the Pope, and even Kim Jong-un. Okay. Kim Jong-un has a dragon's, I just did his stars the other day. Kim Jong-un has a dragon's head in Gemini and the tail is in Sagittarius. It's right on his subconscious mind. This is what makes him the evil dictator that he is, along with a couple of other factors. You can go to my website, astrologywitch.com, and read a little bit more about him. I only put in 2 paragraphs on him because I just don't feel like wasting my time on such an evil piece of crap. And he's apparently still alive. So whether he was dead or alive, you know, sometimes you just can't kill evil. His time is coming, though. December of 2020 will be a hard month for Kim Jong-un and for Donald Trump. This energy is also going to affect our indigenous brothers and sisters. I already see it happening here in the United States with our Native Americans. Excuse me. With our Native Americans, you can, number one, You don't see this on the news, but I'm going to tell you. Our indigenous brothers and sisters and our reservations here in the United States are some of the hardest hit with COVID-19. Okay. And I'm very worried that it just might wipe out a great many more of our indigenous brothers and sisters on these reservations. So if you want to give and help out, think about the reservations, Pine Ridge, Cheyenne River Reservation. All these reservations are struggling in some way. Some of the Navajo reservations are struggling right now. Not to mention our government and the leader that's in charge is trying to screw them over even more by taking land away and taking rights away. Unfortunately, our indigenous brothers and sisters are going to suffer just a little bit more. And it breaks my heart to say that. This also is going to affect the Pope. He's a Sagittarius. Now, I want to talk to you a minute about countries that are going to take on this energy too, because there is a such thing as astrogeography, and every country, every place takes on this energy. The energies for, Sagittarian energy, and the countries that will make headlines again will be Australia. Unfortunately, there'll probably be more fires coming for them in the summertime, which will be around December of 2020. South America, California, parts of Arizona, parts of Nevada will all make headlines in the next 18 months. Also, New York, Los Angeles, and big cities in general will all make headlines for the next year and a half. Now, Gemini rules big cities, the hustle and bustle of the city. So you're already seeing what's happening with New York and the COVID-19. LA will make the headlines in some way. Big cities in general will make headlines. More fires, issues with our native brothers, fighting for their rights, sadness with the animal kingdom, and the stupidity of fearful and indoctrinated people will plague this world for the next 18 months. So all of my light workers out there, all of my witches, my sorcerers, my spiritualists, my shamans, our time is here. We have arrived. And you know what I mean, and I know you know what I mean, Pam. It's going to be us, especially women, that bring this planet to salvation. Men have screwed it up. I almost dropped the F-bomb. Men have screwed this up. Move aside, gentlemen, and let us ladies take over. You've screwed it up. We need to clean it up. The rise of women is coming, not just in politics, but all over the globe. You're going to see the rise of women, even in this country. The next election, if there is one, you're going to see so many women get into office from a local state level all the way up to the presidency. Someday we will have a woman president. It might be 2024. I don't want to say too much because I am going to do another show about Biden. I think Biden's running mate will probably be a woman. I don't think Biden's going to beat Trump. That's a topic for a whole nother show, but I want you to keep an eye on women. Women, women, women. The divine feminine is coming, ladies. Be ready for it. It'll be people like us that are in the spiritual realm, the esoteric realm. To have to help some of these people that are feeding into fear and not grounding themselves and watching too much mainstream media, and there are people that sit all day and freak out over what they hear. They just get themselves in such a frenzy, and that's so unhealthy to the psychological mind. Don't do it. Get your news and turn the TV off. Now, we as humans are affected by this cosmic energy shift too, and those who bestow A sun, a moon, a dragon's head, a dragon's tail. These are the north and south nodes of the moon. A Gemini and Sagittarius energy will be affected directly by this, both positive and negative. Besides June and December souls having to be aware of this energy, there are 2 other signs in the zodiac that this next dragon is going to be hunting for. And those signs are Cancer and Capricorn. Yes, Cancer and Capricorn have taken a hit the last 12 months or the last 18 months when this because this energy has been there. Cancer, it's been a little more kinder to. It's Capricorn that's been affected by the tail. Unfortunately, Capricorn isn't out of the woods yet. When this energy shifts, the tail is sitting right on your subconscious mind, and that is like the worst place for anyone's stars to be. So there'll be a lot more Capricorns dealing with depression, suicide, addictions, things like that. When you don't understand the energies that are going on, you know, there's a lot of lost souls out there that aren't going to be able to deal with this. Your polar opposite, Cancer, this energy is sitting on the 6th house in a more positive way, though. Okay. So the health will improve a little bit. You might have some minor issues with health, Cancer, such as, a root canal or, something. It shouldn't be too major. I'm more worried about Capricorns at this time. When this energy moves, your psyche is going to be really messed up if you're not enlightened. I'm a Capricorn. This energy is going to be on me. I have to work double time now with this next energy. More meditation, more grounding. So, don't think because I'm your astrologer, I'm not affected by the stars too. I am. And I'll tell you, the last 18 months, this energy was right on me, my soul's purpose. This energy is shifting, and I have learned in the next 18 months what my soul's purpose is, what my mission in life is. My mission is to bring the stars to you, to read you the stars, and know that whether you believe in a God, an Allah, a Jesus, creator, great spirit, I am blessed that I have been able to read God's messages written in starlight. His messages don't come from a book. They come from up there. You need to learn to read them, to understand them, and to protect and save yourself. Because knowledge is power, people. All right, where was I? My best advice in order to get through this energy is to know your stars, your positive and negative days. And if there are strong Gemini, Sagittarian energies in one's chart, you will feel them the most. Ride the head of this energy, because the tail is only going to lead you to despair, sadness, and death. Okay. Hi, Jordan. Hope you guys are doing well. I don't know what part of the world everybody's in, but where I'm at, it is hot. Lady Eyes of Green, I know you will concur with me since you are local yokel. It is hot. It's about 85 right now on my patio. Broadcast is almost over. I'm going to give you, here are the positive and negatives of the next energy and things to come for the next 18 months. I really don't like to do predictions. It's really not my style. So you could take this for what it's worth. You could consider them predictions. You can consider them warnings of energies that are coming, both positive and negative. So we're going to start. I'm going to go down here to the bottom, and I'm going to start with the negatives, because I am a firm believer in the realm of psychology. We always start with the negative and we always end with the positive. It just sets the tone for a strong psychological adjustment of some sort. Negatives. Negative and sad news within the animal kingdom and their habitat. Diseases of the lungs and respiratory system will continue. More hot summers and fires in Australia, but also California, the West Coast, and parts of Arizona. There's going to be more accidents with travel, cars, trains, and communication issues. This also creates power outages, and we could have issues with power grids as well. One important thing I want to say here, because the tail of this energy is in Sagittarius, Sagittarius rules foreigners, foreign lands. Traveling to foreign lands will not be blessed under this energy. If you're going to travel, travel domestically, but please do not travel abroad. I hate to say that. You're going to have to wait till January 20th of 2022 if you want to start traveling abroad. Also, on a negative, you're going to see more animal attacks on human beings. And this is the negative energy of the animal kingdom. It doesn't just mean the loss of life. It also means animals attacking humans. Like I said, issues with power outages, strong winds, and even dead birds falling out of the sky. And I believe this has a lot to do with 5G. 5G did not create the coronavirus. That's a stupid conspiracy theory made up by some jackass. 5G has to do with technology, and it does rule the wind kingdom, the wind world, the air world, okay? The Gemini world in some way. You'll see more dead birds falling out of the sky, which is a big omen. That's not good. You're going to see advancements in technology that could very well kill us. We are in the age of Aquarius, people, and you're going to see advancements with technology, but mankind, as smart as he thinks he is, he's really not as smart as our futuristic brothers are, okay? Our extraterrestrial brothers know best. And we're going to get so advanced with technology that we're going to probably kill ourselves in the process. You're going to see more humanitarian aid for our indigenous nations as our government offers them no help. You're going to see religious zealots in full swing talking about the end days and trying to hold on to the last breath of control they have on you with religion. The new age of Aquarius is here, folks, and religion is dying. We're in the last breaths of it. The Pisces age is fighting hard to stay alive. It isn't. Religion is dying. People are looking into more Eastern philosophies now. People are looking into more metaphysical and esoteric things now. Us witches have arrived. Anyway, negative news from the President of the United States and the Pope. The Pope is Sagittarius and the President is Gemini. Both have dragon in Gemini Sag, and their energy is going to affect all of us as a nation and a people. The economy is going to tank, and we as a nation are in for some hard times. And we will rebuild ourselves, but it's not going to happen until January 20th of 2022, when the next dragon energy shifts into a Taurus, which is money, beauty, solidity, Scorpio tail. So when the dragon energy shifts in 2 years into that Taurus energy, the economy will get better. You'll see some interesting advances coming in 18 months with the economy. The next 3 years are going to be very interesting. The first 18 are going to be harder than hell to get through. Okay. But there is a positive at the end of the light. Okay. Let me go to the positives. Speaking of positives, those are all the negatives. Progressive changes within the world of medicine and holistic benefits. So yes, the medical industry is taking a hit right now. And advances in medicine will not be blessed at this time, but holistic medicine will. Okay. You're going to see big advances with holistic medicine. A lot of holistic doctors have lost their lives. I know that that goes out to being a big conspiracy theory, but that is one of the conspiracy theories that is absolutely true. The deep state doesn't want you to know about holistic remedies. Okay? They don't want you to heal yourself. They want you to be a slave to the pharmaceutical companies and the doctors. They don't want, there's a saying, I don't know how, I can't remember exactly how it goes, but they're not in it to find a cure. They're in it to keep you addicted to their drugs and to keep you on that hamster wheel. Cures don't make money. And that's why everything is imploding right now. Unfortunately, there are great doctors out there who truly care about their patients and have taken that Hippocratic oath with integrity and a good conscience. But then there are others who've turned to the dark side, to the evil cabal of the medical industry and the pharmaceutical companies that are really killing us in a great many ways. There are a lot of holistic doctors who have lost their lives because of this. That is one conspiracy theory that is very, very true. That's about to change, because when the collapse of this whole medical system happens, we're going to need something. We're going to need holistic to help us through it. Full restructure of the healthcare system. And there are some of you out there who are against universal health care, but you got sick and you lost your job, and I bet you're wishing you had that now, because you're going to have to file for bankruptcy when you get your $100,000 hospital bill for being on a ventilator for 10 days and all the other crap and medication that came with it. It's going to be very sobering for a great many American people. Anyway, it's a positive, a full structure of the healthcare system. The educational system is ruled by Sagittarius as well. And even though this is placed in the negative, I think it's very positive. And the educational system as we know it is going to change. More virtual learning and advanced technology. Mainstream education is going to die in some way. My daughter got her wish. She has been bugging me about homeschooling her and bugging me. I said, oh, let's wait till we move. Let's wait till we move. Well, sometimes things happen, and she's as happy as can be doing virtual learning. She is doing better now than she was in school. And that's saying something, because she was a 4.0 student. Some kids will do well at this and some kids will not. But because we're moving into the age of Gemini and the technology is better, more advancements are going to be made to make education through virtual learning better. Advancements in transportation and technology with cars. Yes, flying cars. They already have them, like I said. They're just not public yet. Yes, there are cars out there that are created. I guarantee you Elon Musk has it somewhere hiding, and he'll present that in a year or two. A car with what do you call it? Propulsion, so it elevates off the ground like a UFO. Okay. Many of our government that's in the deep space program, there are all kinds of technologies out there that have not been introduced to us yet, but are already either in the making or have already been made. A flying car is one of them. Just give it time. I guarantee you in the next 18 months, you might see something like this. Watch the news. Changes in the postal service, hopefully for the better. You know, there are over 500,000 people employed through the postal service. It has a very strong union. Even though our government's trying to break it down and tamper with it, I do fully believe that our president does things sometimes out of pure ego and jealousy of another person. He hates, what's his name, Bezos. And so he's trying to keep in competition with Bezos. That's right. We are stepping up and leveling. And yes, I can only imagine how hot it is on your patio. But it's a pretty patio, all decorated and lovely and ready for summer. Okay, progressive changes are coming with journalism, publishing, and writing. How do I say this? Through the last 3 years, everything is fake news, everything is this. And I agree, there are some things that are fake news. But when a reporter is asking a legitimate question and you decide to gaslight them and not answer the question, this is textbook psychology for gaslighting. So when you're sitting there taking the heat for something and a reporter asks you a question, and instead of answering that question with a little bit of grace and integrity, you tell them they're a nasty person. Okay, this is going to change. The way we do media is going to change progressively. Journalism, publishing, and writing will all take on a progressive nature. New social situations and ways of meeting new people via technology are on the rise. Because we are sheltered in place in a great many places, you might see virtual bars popping up and virtual all kinds of virtual stuff is getting ready to explode. New social situations, okay, I already said that. Broadcasting and people in broadcasting are going to create something new and make headlines in even a negative manner. I firmly believe that, not that I'm hoping for it, even though I think he's a horrible human being. I think Rush Limbaugh will make headlines with his death this year, probably be in December. I hope I'm wrong, but as much as I dislike him, I don't wish death upon him. But you're going to see people in broadcasting making more headlines. Humanity as a whole becomes more curious, becomes more open-minded, becomes more communicative with each other. And that's a good thing. We need people who are more curious about things, more inquisitive about things, wanting to search for the truth instead of being more indoctrinated. Indoctrination is dying, folks. Photography is going to make advances, and in some incredible way, you're going to see photographers capture pictures of things that may bring many truths to light. Now, this brings me, and I'm going to end on this note here, this brings me to the UFO phenomena. And in one of my other broadcasts, I was talking about the grand shift and how we're in between the ages. And in 2012, it did shift into the age of Aquarius. And there's about 10 years of chaos that goes on, 10, 15 years of chaos that goes on before that shift kind of gets everyone adjusted. And with photography, we are going to learn that we are not alone in this world. With that being said, I was doing some research and I had said that maybe in 100 years from now, when we're in the full swing of things, we will be working side by side with our extraterrestrial brothers. But I was watching a movie called Metaphysia 2012. I highly recommend it. I've posted it on my YouTube comments. Check it out. I think we're much closer than that. And I might have spoken out of terms, but I wrote a note down about it. And someone who does communication with an extraterrestrial was saying that the human, I don't know where I did with my notes now, but the human race is going to be more open to this between the years of 2021 and 2025. And between the years of 2027 and 2035, we are going to be working side by side with them. So the future does look bright. It does look incredible. It's just we're going to have to get through these hard times in order to see the positives that are going to prevail. It's going to get worse before it gets better. I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news, but you can't keep your head buried. The people that keep their head buried in the sand, those are the ones that are going to perish. Be awake, be enlightened, and you will get through this. We are living in incredible times, people, but they are very frightening times too. Positive and negative changes of all sorts are coming. And like I said, I'm not here to scare you. Use this knowledge I'm giving you to help yourself, to help others. Follow the stars. Don't feed into fear, and you'll get through it. More meditation, keeping your subconscious mind strong and not weak. When you feed into fear, you weaken your subconscious mind. Remember, the dragon's head is in Gemini coming. This rules our mental process. We can achieve so many things. Here's the problem with the United States. We're divided. We're divided. That's the problem. And if the United States continues to keep being divided, that'll be our downfall. The next 18 months are going to be hard because of that division, because of that ignorance, because of that stupidity. Many more lives are going to be lost, especially in the United States and especially to COVID-19. I know that mainstream media makes a big deal about all the deaths in the United States and they compare it to other countries. But first, before we end, let's just put a little logic and reason into this. Italy has about 10 to 12 million in population. The United States has over 200,000 plus in population. So geographically, yeah, our numbers are going to be higher. So, when you hear media talk about, oh, Trump, we're number one in deaths, well, that may be his fault to a degree because he didn't act quickly enough. But logically, of course, there's going to be more deaths here. There's more people here. The little country of Italy compared to the United States, Italy itself can fit in one or two states. We are a big nation with many states and a big population. So yes, more deaths are going to happen here in the United States. That's just common sense. Okay. So when you're watching the news media, step back for a minute, put a little common sense and logic into things before you freak out and feed into fear. That's all I'm saying. And I know, there's the left and then there's the right, and then you hear the right complaining about the evil cabal, and you hear the left calling, this, that, and the other. They both suck. And they're both part of the same bird. You're just being indoctrinated and programmed to believe that one side is better than the other. However, most of my family, and I'm not going to get into politics too much, most of my family is conservative Catholic Republican. Okay. And I have a relative who, diehard Republican, said to me many months ago that this president has tainted the Republican Party. I agree with him. But remember, Democrat, Republican, they both fly under the same umbrella. So you may think one is better than the other. You may think this, that, and the other. You hear the right calling people libtards and this and that. And, us liberals own guns too, We just don't flaunt them in a Walmart because we're scared little boys playing soldier. I got that off a meme. Anyway, we have a long ways to go as human beings, but we'll get through this. The key word for the next 18 months is going to be tolerance. We're going to have tolerance for each other and accept people's differences and move forward. The ones that'll get through this are the ones that will not be indoctrinated. These are not the end days. The world isn't going to end. Humans may become extinct, but the world will go on. Christ isn't coming back, okay? So forget living in that dream. I know there are people out there waiting for a rapture, waiting for Christ to return. Christ isn't coming back, people. He tried his mission 2,000 years ago, and we saw how that worked. He's not returning, okay? Contrary to what people think, both in Judaism and Christianity. No. If you want to get close to God and feel Christ consciousness, learn to read his messages written in starlight, because that's where God is, in the heavens, in the stars, creating those messages. It's not in a book. A book was written by man to indoctrinate you, to feed you into fear, and to keep you a servant of them, a servant of the church. That is going to end. Take your power back, empower yourself, and realize that we, as human beings, have our own free thought, our own free will, and we are our own gods and goddesses in the making. I'm glad, Pam, that you did watch Metaphysia. Isn't that a powerful, powerful movie? I haven't watched it in a great many years, and I put it on yesterday and watched it, and tears. I had tears. There were things I had forgotten through the years. And Sean Fisher and Chief Reyna are two of my close friends. Chief Reyna is actually one of my teachers and mentor, Peace Chief of the Lipan Caraco Nation. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but I've learned a great many things about Chief Reyna. And one of the things he has taught me is what you're talking about, Pam, and it's a time for the divine feminine. And he always says that this continent, this planet, this world is going to be taken over and helped by the divine feminine. It's going to be women, female energy, crone energy, mother energy, maiden energy that takes over this planet and brings it to salvation. Gia is already healing herself because we're in quarantine. Animals are coming out. That is a big sign and a message. Look to nature. Look to nature, and you will get your messages. What did I post yesterday on Facebook? Mankind who is not in accordance with nature or something like that is complete suicide. Very true. It's suicide if we do not stay in accordance with nature and the universal laws of balance. So glad you were able to watch that movie, Pam. It's incredible. And those of you out there, Metaphysia 2012, it is on YouTube right now. It started out a few days ago with only like 200 people watching, and Sean came up on Facebook this morning and said, holy cow, I've got over like 1,200 views right now. So more and more people are watching it and being enlightened by it. And it's really a great show. If you're feeling depressed and you feel like there's no hope, please watch that movie. It will give you so much hope. All right. It was great chatting with all of you, and I want you all to have a wonderful day. Thanks, Lady Eyes of Green, for joining me. And Jordan, Jennifer, thank you so much for joining me. I am running astrology reading specials through May 4th, when the end of this California quarantine is. I'm also have specials on my Etsy store, so check out my website, astrologywitch.com. You could check me out on Facebook as well, Astrology Witch. I am also on Pinterest. Oh, I'm everywhere now. I'm getting around. So have a great day, everybody. Think positive thoughts. Don't feed into fear. And I'll see you soon. Blessed be. Ciao.